Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner to a special edition of the weekly tournament reports video. This time around I get to talk about Worlds, which is something that I hadn't really considered when I started doing these, but Worlds happened, so let's go over this. So Worlds consisted of both the Japanese format and the Western format, and they had events in both Premium and Standard. There was also a last chance qualifier the day before it for both formats. So I'll be covering those as well. And we got a lot to talk about here, so let's get down to this. So as far as the last chance qualifier premium format went, it was won by No Life King, second place was No Life King, third place was Standard plus Nubatama. Yeah, I had to do a double take on that one too, because Nubas we'd never seen do anything up until now. And then fourth place was Azel. So here's your No Life King, your No Life King. Here's your Nubatama deck, which at a first glance is both, well, it's based around hand discard along with the Nubatama strides. Rene, of course, is dumb. Sukumura-kan is a obnoxious GR. And yeah, like, this seems pretty solid. And we'll see this again, don't you worry. And then you've got, of course, the cancer that is Azel. At least now will be the cancer of the format, because, as we all know, Bushiroad Japan came out with a ban list, and the English format's also enacting a ban list where No Life King got hit and BT got a slap on the wrist. But this deck here is still allowed to roam free, when really they need to do, I think, what is the best choice, which is make it so you can't start with this Criff, and they have to try and do the Azel combo a different way. In any case, and then you also have the last chance qualifier for Standard, which was in team format of all things. Like, I don't understand why you'd have teams as your format for what was going to be a single player tournament. So, but in any case, though, first place was won by Oracle Think Tank, Angel Feather, and Great Nature. Second, OTT, Angel Feather, Royal Paladin. Third, Narukami, Royal Paladin, Angel Feather. And fourth place, Angel Feather, Royal Paladin, Oracle Think Tank. So, pretty much your usual suspects as far as what the set 3 meta is. Let's see. The typical Oracle Think Tank deck list. The typical Angel Feather. This is the Bison-based build of Great Nature. And then, let's see. Royal Paladins have moved more towards 3 Excavate. And this Narukami deck list is playing crits and Wonder as Clapdragon, but he's also maxed out on his Ricky. Otherwise, it's your pretty standard Narukami deck. Yeah, not much to say here. Given that not best of 3, but given that team format usually has a lot of protect decks in their Oracle Think Tank and Angel Feather, it doesn't surprise me that this guy opted to go with Duress Clapdragon as his flex spot. Vermilion isn't really needed in an environment where OTT and Angel Feather are quite prominent. So, kudos to him. And that's pretty much it for that. Yes, so, yeah. Now, on to the actual thing itself. So, Bushiroad World Championships 2018 standard format in Japan, with first place Oracle Think Tank, second place Royal Paladin, third place Great Nature, and fourth place Kagero. That's the one that's got me pretty intrigued, because generally speaking, Kagero just hasn't been doing that well for the last couple of formats, yet here it comes suddenly taking fourth place. So let's take a look at this. Yep, pretty much your ideal OTT deck list here. Yeah, Royal Paladin. This guy's playing 2 Excavate. Oh god, he's got his like mismatched rarity Blaster Blades. It's tilting me. Oh man, his deck is like all over rarities. Now let's see, the Bison, Great Nature, and Kagero. So this guy was playing Novell. Interesting. So there you go. So that's what happened for their standard format. And then the real spice is their premium. So Bermuda Triangle won. And then second place was that Nubatama we just talked about there. The one that's the hand discard Kujikiri Kongo build, but with a G-Zone. Like, this is some really spicy shit here. And then you've got, what was it? Angel Feather and NLK? Yeah, so then the Angel Feather deck is an Angel Feather Gize, and then you've got your usual Cancer and NLK. No Azel in this top-up, but damn. This Nubatama deck apparently is disgusting to see. I don't know, because I wasn't watching that finals. I was watching the other stream, but yeah. there's something for people who want to try something a little bit more special for their format. But yes, Nubatama Plus, so Standard plus Nubatama is now a deck. Now, Bushra World Championship 2018 English Edition. Standard format. First place, Great Nature being the Leopold Hamske deck. Second place, Murakumo. Third place, Neonectar. Fourth place, Royal Paladin. And then one known top 8 deck is Great Nature. And I'm pretty certain Genesis is another top 8 deck. Because I'm pretty certain the top 8 Great Nature player was the one who got disqualified on stream against the Canadian Genesis player. So by that logic, I think they both got the top cut. And I do believe the Genesis player was the one who lost to Murakumo in the top 8. So, yeah, I probably should have written that down too. So, good on Genesis guy for playing and representing Canada. But in any case, let's get into it. So, this is our first place world champion playing Great Nature Hamske. And, yeah, so Great Nature came out really well this week. And apparently, there were quite a bit of the deck running around, which that combined, I guess, with yeah, that being one of the more prominent reasons, and Murakumo, there we go. That and Murakumo is probably why Angel Feather didn't do as well at this. The thing I got from Level 1 Gaming, who talked about this with some of the people, was that, at least for the TCG side, people were trying to metagame the hell out of each other. And it's going to be much more prominent with the premium results, but basically, Angel Feather, despite being seen as the most popular and best deck out of the OCG format, people were preparing for. And as a result, it either didn't do well or people just didn't really want to bring that many of it because they were afraid of people matching up into it with decks like Great Nature and Genesis. Apparently, Genesis has a good Angel Feather matchup because of Melissa completely fucking over their board and making it possible for you to deck them out before they can deck you out. So really, I think like the best anti-metagame pick would have been to play Neonectar at this, and the one guy, I guess, who opted to play Neonectar got there because it got third place despite the fact that Sunlight Garden guy's not out yet. And then Royal Paladin also gone there. So here's your Great Nature deck list. Here's your Neonectar deck list. So this guy opted to play 4 copies of the Vanilla 10K and then just a 2-2 split of Maiden Trailing Rose and Tomato. He's also got a couple copies of Corolla Dragon and is that one less copy? Yeah, 3 copies of Rebecca. Second runner-up. And do we have the Royal Paladin deck list? I forget if I got it yet. And then here's your Royal Paladin deck list, which is yep, he's got 2 copies of Exculpate, and for Alfred, 3 Soul Saver. Not much else I can really say here. And then, what might be? Oh yeah, and here's a video link to the top 8 deck profile of Great Nature. The guy, like, he flat out says like he knows that he's a meme after that incident on the stream, and he's owning up to it. So kudos to him for that. So that being said, let's get to what, in my opinion, was like the really spicy stuff this week. And like, I watched pretty much the entirety of the event, and while it was neat to see Great Nature do stuff in Standard format, I really feel like the more exciting stuff happened in Premium, because you just saw things that you weren't expecting. Like, there was Wiseman Loop of all things in action, and the guy managed to get a win with Wiseman, and then you've got what won this thing, which was Mega Colony Darkface Gridora. And not only was it not Gize Mega Colony variant, but this guy was playing the original set 4 Darkface as his backup grade 3, because this here is an anti-meta strategy. This guy came in with the explicit purpose of fucking over Gold Paladin, which turned out to be a brilliant call because most of the people at this event played Gold Paladin in order to beat NLK, which was purported to be the best deck in the format. This is more of that metagaming stuff going on. Like, the players at this event, big brain like crazy. People thought that NLK was the best deck in the format, so everyone brought Azel, which beats NLK. So what did this guy do? He played Mega Colony and he beat Azel. Now, admittedly, he also got kind of a little bit lucky, as I was told that the one time he played NLK on stream, he did crit sack the guy to death. So it's hard to say how well this matches up into NLK or Gize. I want to say that Gridora does do things against them, but overall, as a strong first stride, Gold Paladins leave you with more than enough cards on the board to get a significant number of draws, and Darkface's Generation Break 2 is just disgusting against Gold Paladin. Their much vaunted Glorious Reigning Dragon turn, you can just Soul Blast 2 and shut down anything they call on their Axel Circle. Now, admittedly, too, the finals was kind of decided by the fact that the Gold Paladin player in Game 3 couldn't stride for 2 turns despite getting the Azul combo off. So, but that's a variance for you. And then the other known top deck list is this OTT Gize deck that got 3rd. And then, yeah, we don't have the Gold Paladin deck list up yet. I'm sure it's going to be on Bushiroad's website pretty soon, if not already. I just hadn't looked into that. Oops. And the last thing of note was the Pro Play Games Pro Tour happened in Atlanta this past weekend. And I know that this guy here got first place with Neo Nectar, which is this is a very different list from what we're used to. My initial reaction was, what the hell is this? But after talking to the 6th Ranger from Team Absolution Vanguard, who played this guy, I think I now understand what he's aiming for. Instead of being the more conservative draw, keep a big hand type of approach that the Japanese play Neo Nectar, this guy decided to be just much more aggro and just beat the opponent down as quickly and often as possible. He was quoted as saying never having more than 6 cards in his hand, but he was able to just beat your face in really quickly. That being said, though, I can't say I approve of his choice of plant token. Come now, we all know there is only one good plant token, but that was that for this weekend. So, what can we take away from this? Well, I can't say, okay, so first things first, we can't actually say that what happened at this Worlds is like an indication of what the format is like as a whole, because again, a World Championship format is usually pretty inclusive to itself. What happens there is usually a result of people trying to metagame, and while there will be a spike in play of Great Nature and Mega Colony in the current formats, I think what's going to happen is people are going to play them and think that these are like the top to the creme decks, and then they're going to get beat down. They're going to realize, oh, these are good, but the reason why they won was because they were better suited to the environment they were playing in, whereas in a much more wide open environment, you're not going to get the same results. So that's pretty much it as a whole. Overall, I was pretty entertained with the event. I honestly found the premium format to be much more fun to watch than the standard stuff, but that's just my own thing here. And the stream itself ran decently enough. I mean, granted, Bushiroad and their infinite ability to fuck up mismanaged their time and weren't able to actually put everything that they wanted out there. So for the people who tuned in to see Buddy Fight's World Championship, y'all got screwed out. Sorry. And Weiss, I think, had 1, maybe 2 games, but it was pretty much all Vanguard, which, I mean, I was fine with. That's the one I like, and given that I believe it is Bushiroad's most popular game, it makes sense that they were prioritizing it over the other ones. Funny how Vanguard is Bushiroad's arguably best game, and yet they're not willing to treat it as well as they can with, say, Buddy Fight. We've made Buddy Fight to be the more competitive game, even though most of the people actually like Vanguard more. Funny that. In any case, so that was the thing. For the commentary, we had Different Fight and Card Protagonist on here. Different Fight I knew, but Card Protagonist surprised me, as I thought he was more of a Buddy Fight channel than a Vanguard channel. But I guess that's why they brought him on, was that he knew a little bit of Vanguard, but was going to be there for mostly the Buddy Fight stuff, but then Buddy Fight never happened, so RIP. So as a result, we basically just had Different Fight speak for most of the stream with the occasional clip from Card Protagonist. Now, admittedly, Protagonist did start speaking up more near the end of it, but, like, I mean, I'm going to give my honest opinions as I see it, but basically it was pretty much all Different Fight, and there were many times where you were like, is there really anyone else here? All I'm hearing is just Different Fight speak. So I feel like for the next time, if they bring back Card Protagonist, he needs to be more willing to speak up so that we actually know that he's there, or they have someone who's knowledgeable about the Vanguard and is willing to actually speak without having to like play second fiddle. Because I feel like a good multi-person commentary team consists of people who are both able to chime in on a given, not having to let one overpower the other one as far as their presence on screen goes. I know the Different Fight probably wasn't intending to quote-unquote hog all the spotlight, but again, it's just a thing I noticed, especially given that I've watched like stuff like WWF in the past, where you'd have JR and the King both do their equal parts of commentating. And as far as the actual stream it goes, oops, let's go. Okay, this setup here, I did not like. I really feel like we did not need to have this magical girl here, which is apparently Bushiroad's mascot. Not some big dragon, but a cute magical girl. We didn't really need this to be on here. This could have easily just been cut out and they could have zoomed this in, and that would have made it a lot easier to follow some of the stuff. Like, I knew what most of these cards were, but there were still some instances where I was like, what the hell did he call there? And if they were going to have something else taking up space, then they could have had it just been like what Konami does with their Yu-Gi-Oh! Streams, where it's just a picture of the card zoomed in with the text and people can read it and go, okay, so that's what it does. And what else can I really say about this? Yeah, those were just really my gripes about it. Otherwise, I think the stream was okay. And then, before we completely end this video, remember how I said I was going to do a bit of an end of format report card slash just a tally of how many decks did this? Well, here it is. So I've gone ahead and looked through all of the previous results I have posted for set 3 format, and these are just strictly the decks that have made top 4 in singles or teams, and I've just added together how many appeared where. So, with that being said, how did everything fare? Well, for singles, there were only 3 events in Japan, so take this one with a grain of salt. Royal Paladin with 3, Murokuma with 2, Oracle Think Tank with 2, one of those being the World Championship win, and then 1 Naru, Angel, Neo, Gold, Genesis, Great Ninja, and Kagero. Now, given that Japan is much more favored towards teams, this is where you're going to see the bulk of the numbers. So, the most played and top deck of the format, at least in teams, was Angel Feather at 21, Oracle Think Tank came in at 18, Royal Paladin came in at 15, Narukami came in at 10, Great Nature and Neo Nectar were tied with 5 apiece, Gold Paladin with 3, Genesis with 2, Gear Chronicle with 2, and Kagero with 1. Yep, Nubatama did a whole nothing in this past format, and Gold Paladin, despite getting 2 waves of support, only had 3 tops to show for it, whereas Narukami, with its 1 batch of support, has twice as many appearances and tops. So, good on them. Like, this is, at least as far as the OCG format is concerned, this paints a pretty clear picture of what our top decks are going to be. Angel Feather, Oracle Think Tank, Royal Paladin, Narukami, and then Neo Nectar and Great Nature duking it out for that last spot. Will this be the same over here? Not quite. I don't think Angels are going to be as dominant over here because North America will play things that they believe will beat Angel Feather, such as Great Nature, Narukami, and Genesis, as I mentioned before. So I don't think they're going to have as much of a stranglehold over the format as they did in Japan. Our Oracle Think Tank numbers may be higher, but I have a suspicion that it's going to be Royal Paladin that will be the most played deck and topping deck of the format. But that's all. This is all still hearsay. We'll see when we actually start getting more results. And on that note, what I think I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start providing a link to my Twitter in these videos, and then if anyone who goes to an ARG Circuit Series or a PPG Pro Tour and is able to get a top as well as and like prove it, so such as a photograph of their deck with the mat and trophy or some proof that says, hey, you got X place at this event, send it to me on Twitter via message or tweet it at me at BlueStar899 Twitter and such so forth, and I'll add that to these things. That way I can at least try and cover some of the TCG stuff. So that's all for this video. My goodness, this was a long one, but we had a lot to talk about. And yeah, that's pretty much how things went. So what are your thoughts on how Worlds happened? How Worlds went? Were you more excited about the standard stuff or more excited about the premium stuff? Where do you think things will go from here? And yeah, that's pretty much all I can really say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and until next time, this is BlueStar89, jacking out.